Hi. Oh, wow. I cannot believe it. We are finally here. It is time for us to actually share some really good knowledge with you. So, welcome to the Elevate Your Being online health and wellbeing transformation summit. We have some fantastic information here for you. This is the first recording that I'm doing, and I'm with the fabulous author and emotional fitness coach, Suzie Welstead. Good evening, Suzie.
Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi.
Great to be here.
Oh, fantastic. And happy birthday to you.
Yes.
I'm
What a
so,
great way to celebrate the being.
oh, brilliant. Well, I'm so honored that you were able to squeeze us into your busy schedule because I know that it's a precious time for you celebrating with your family. So thank you so much for being here. Before you begin, Suzie, I just want to remind everyone that you were the first guest contributor to the online health and wellbeing summit. So this is when I turned everything around last November. So that was November 2020, and decided that the cafe needed to be online. Did I just call it a summit? I don't know what I just said. Maybe I went wrong. But, but yes, the Health and Wellbeing Cafe went online. I was looking for a contributor and we didn't know each other, but we were introduced to each other by another speaker who's going to be on the program here. You agreed to do a talk for me. It was absolutely fantastic. It was mind blowing. So I've given you a quick introduction. Do you just want to say a few words about yourself and about the talk that you did last time for us?
Oh, yes, yes. Well, my name, as Vanessa has just said, I'm Suzie Welstead, emotional wellbeing coach and author of You Are Enough. And last year I was introduced to Vanessa. It's been a up and down year, full of chaos, confusion for a lot of people, but I was introduced to Vanessa about doing a talk, and I remember coming on there, and I think it was what was needed, Vanessa, because it was all about emotions, how people were feeling. We had so much going off around us, and we still have,
Yeah.
yet the fear and anxiety was building up. And obviously,
Mm.
being an emotional fitness coach, well-being, it's all about allowing yourself to feel what's happening within you. So that's a quick run through of what we did talk about. We spoke about emotions and how I guide my clients and how I guide people on a daily basis. And there's another thing that I'm really passionate about is self-care, and upping that self-care, especially in times when we really need it.
Fantastic. Well, before you actually give us more of a deeper dive in deep with your talk, which is Ready, Steady, Love. I mean, how fantastic, what a fantastic title. I just want to ask you, could you just explain to those that are tuning in, how does the work that you're doing help with the transformation? So like we're all on our individual journeys. How does your work help with that individual transformation, please?
Oh, great, Vanessa. Great question. I'm a big believer that life is an emotional experience, and we've been hiding how we really truly feel. We don't know how to express our emotions. The majority of us don't. And I can always remember going out places and people saying, "Oh, you're deep, you're deep." No, I like to ask questions. I really like to ask questions. And it all goes back to my own personal experience of being in that place of not being able to deal with my emotions, of abandoning myself every time I felt sad or lonely, and not being able to um, express that. Like so many of us, we keep ourselves trapped only because we don't know how to. But as soon as I knew how to, I thought, wow, now that's an opening to support others, because that's all they need. They need that guidance. They need that toolbox of how is it that I can deal with how I am feeling right here, right now.
Oh, fantastic. So, I mean, whenever you're ready, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this slide off. That was just really the opening. And I'm going to put the screen onto you. So I will be here listening in, but those who are listening have tuned in to listen to your talk. So whenever you're ready, Suzie, please tell us a little bit more on the title called Ready, Steady, Love.
Thank you. I love Ready, Steady, Love, because it all starts with us. And I don't mean in the I guess in the outside world, when we think about media or anything, we're thinking about the external things, and we start thinking that if we have to think about ourselves, it's being big-headed, it's being something that we're not supposed to be, or you're just up yourself because you're thinking about yourself. That is completely wrong. The majority of people I've worked with, even myself, it's always been about the experience of accepting oneself and loving oneself. So what does that really, really mean? And that's why I like to dive in deep, especially in these 6 weeks that I run this program. And it's all about getting to understand yourself, having compassion for yourself, and getting yourself a self-care plan so that you know how to cope with your own mental health as well as emotional well-being. Now, isn't that great to have? Isn't that really great? Just to, because we've got so many things going on. You know, the family could be ups, you could be having all sorts going off in your head, and we don't know how to put that in place. That's why I'm so passionate about the acceptance and love, because I'm a huge believer that that's all everybody wants. That's all we want to get on in life, to be loved and accepted. And how can we do that if we don't love and accept ourselves? So it's a really great 6 weeks of diving in and putting you on that experience of putting yourself in that place, of allowing yourself, giving yourself permission, setting the intention that from now on, it's all about accepting and loving myself. And even if I don't, just being okay with it and letting that shift, because everything is energy, your thoughts, your words, the people you connect with, and it all builds up. It all builds up until we get into that. We've been talking about it loads, Vanessa, that chaos and confusion.
Brilliant. So what else are you going to share with us tonight then, Suzie? Because you're going to tell us a bit more about your program at the end of your talk, but on your talk now, what are you going to tell us for this Ready, Steady, Love?
I think when you think about Ready, Steady, Love, it's all about, are you ready to truly love and accept yourself? You know, and how does that feel when I talk about it? You know, because we can listen, and is something not feeling right within you when you think about love and acceptance, but you're thinking, oh no, I'll just go and switch something on. I'll go and avoid, because it's really easy to avoid and distract ourselves. Gosh, we've got 110 things to distract ourselves. But what I'm telling you to do is, when you're listening and you think about that, just the word love and acceptance, what comes up for you? Can you be honest with yourself? Because this experience, you know, it's about you being unique, being the being that you are. Because nobody else knows anything about you. Nobody knows where you've been and what you've done, but you do. So when I say these words, this experience will be different for every single person, because only they know what they're feeling within themselves. And even if you don't like the word love or acceptance, ask yourself, what happened to me to make me feel like this? You know, what happened to me? So it's like like Vanessa said, it's like that deep dive. I love diving deep into these little, you know, but I don't want you to go into the stories, the memories, because you know what that does for you? It sends you into a spin. And it's bringing you back to that place of who you truly are, without the stories, without the memories, without the thoughts. And I know it sounds really hard, you know, it may seem difficult or hard, but it's the truth. And when I say it's the truth, something within you is stirring right here, right now, because it's like, you will know, your heart knows all this anyway. Your heart knows this in the beat of a second. Your heart will know all this as truth. but only you are either putting yourself under pressure or berating yourself, because that's what we do. If you've had one or two challenges in your life and you don't know how to deal with the challenge, you know, you could be building up where you're making yourself feel really, really intense about things. So I think it's a real good, gosh, that 6 weeks is just the start of allowing yourself to see things so differently. But the experience is through your eyes. Let me give you a quick example, if you don't mind, of most of my clients, because I have a book called You Are Enough. And it's one of the beliefs that we all have, that you are not enough. No matter how hard I try, I can't do X, 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 X. We've all been there. We've all done that. We've never felt enough. I had to have a word with myself, because even me, with my past of 17 years of having to escape a trauma background of abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse. So when I left all that behind, I had to really think to myself, enough, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. I can't do X, X. Nobody was there to praise me. Nobody was there to love me. Nobody accepted me, I felt. So I went through my life thinking, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. And all of a sudden, I thought to myself, who actually said to me that I was not good enough? Who was it? What was it? Because you have to have you have to have these words with yourselves, otherwise you send yourself crazy. And I thought, nobody actually said that. Okay, I never had a loving relationship in the family, and I believe a lot of us come from that kind of background. And I thought, no, nobody actually said that to me, but that's how I was made to feel by the action of others. You see, as a child, you're subconsciously picking everything up from the age of 0 to 7. This is where you carry all your beliefs, all the meaning that you give to life today is from that 0 to 7 year stretch. So whether it was somebody that looked at you, whether it's somebody that left you, whether these are all kind of like wounds, like, how can I put it? Like a band-aid where you put a sticker on each one each time, thinking, oh yes, it'll be all right, it'll be all right. But you won't undo them, because you know there's pain, there's hurt within that. And it stems from those beliefs that we formed. And you know, the crazy thing about beliefs is it's a thought that we keep thinking. But nobody's actually said, hold on a minute, how can I change? I'm not good enough, because nobody actually said to me I'm not good enough. To, I am good enough. I am good enough. I am good enough. Yes, when you're changing those patterns, it could take days, weeks, even years, but keep putting that in. I am enough, and show yourself that you are enough. You're here. Whatever you went through, oh my gosh, is that not amazing that you're still here? I am enough. And I think that's one of the biggest beliefs that I deal with on a daily basis with clients that feel that they are not enough. And you know, when we go down this route, and I'm just going to be honest, that a lot of people think they're going to open a can of worms and they're not going to be able to shut it down. Well, that's a complete lie, because I don't take you to memories. I don't take you to stories. I allow you to feel whatever's coming up and get it out that way. You've not got to go down that route of stories and memories, because you are not them. You are not them. Because if you go to your being, because this is all about elevate your being, the being part of you knows the truth. You're caring, you're loving, you're thoughtful, you're special, you're unique. Nobody has traveled what you've traveled. Nobody has ever experienced what you've experienced. And people say to me, yes, but Suzie, you don't get it about this rejection. And you were never rejected. You've been redirected. You've been redirected to a new way. And yes, it hurts. It's pain. But that's the obstacles and challenges in life that we start to build our own toolbox to teach us ways to guide ourselves out of it. And I really wish this is something we did when we were young at school. Hopefully, I know a lot of mindfulness and compassion Compassion is a huge word that I like to use. Have compassion for yourself. Be kind to yourself. I'm going off on one now because, yeah, to me, it's like, it's
No,
so
this is great, Suzie. I mean, you know, that well, some of the contributors said, what do you want me to talk about? I'm like, you know, it's your opportunity to share your gifts and talent. So, you know, the subject that you've chosen is Ready, Steady, Love. And love is one of our emotions. You know, we have it as an emotion, but what is love? I don't know if you wanted to explain
yeah.
a bit
But
more about that.
in reality, you have some people that will say love is an emotion. But in my eyes, but if you look at the being, because I want to focus on the being of who we are, love and peace is your natural state. Even if you do not want to believe that, it is your natural state. You'll be fighting against the stories and the memories that are telling you, no, you're not. No, you're not, love, because look what he did to you, or look what she. No, you have to go back to your natural state of that love and peace. So then you have to work with yourself and know, what is it that works for me? What is it that works for me that I can have? You know, can I read something motivating every day? You see, a lot of us tend to follow these trends of what's going off, like a quick fix, and then we think nothing's working. Well, nothing is working if it's a quick fix here, here, here. What I'm trying to say is get back to your beingness, your uniqueness, by knowing that love and peace is your natural state. Yes, I've had people fight against that. Yes, I've had people say that. Because number one, how can you love anybody if you haven't got that love within you? You do not meet anybody in your lifetime. You do not meet anybody where that person has got to be loving you. If you're doing that, it's for the wrong reason. You've got to have that love first that you've got for you to give to another. So it's a feeling that you create, that you make. We know what makes us happy. We know what we love because we go there. Wow, how amazing is that? But then do we want to admit that we create our emotions? A lot of people say yes, but they don't want to admit that, especially some of my clients that have dealt with trauma when they were younger, or any abuse that I've come across. It's always they don't want to believe. And that's because the little 6, 7-year-old is digging their heels in thinking, that's it. That is it. I'm not having this no more. So you'll notice these patterns that you have, but they're not from you as you today. They're not from your beingness. They're from what you've experienced. And I'll always say this, and I have it all the time. I have it all the time, but I'm mindful of it. But it will catch me out every now and again. And it's when, are you doing things through the human being or the human doing? And I want you to really think about that. You know, is it the being or the doing? Is it the true essence of who you are, which is that being loving, caring, positive? And that doesn't mean, when I'm talking about being positive, that doesn't mean you sugarcoat what's going off in your life. It means that the challenges and obstacles that you have, you look at it and see where you've been triggered and you work through that. And that's what Ready, Steady, Love is all about.
Well, before I ask you for more information about the programme itself, Suzie, obviously with this summit, I know I'm bringing all of the contributors back together. I know that it's a lot of information that will be accessible to the listener, but from the listener's point of view, they're going to have this information for life, you know?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And there's also going to be MP3s in the membership area as well. So if they don't want to watch the video as it were, and they just want to listen to an MP3, then that will be there for them. There will be worksheets as well. But what I want us to focus on now is what techniques. So I'm looking for 3 techniques that you would leave the woman who's listening to your message right now what would you leave her so that she can apply this into her life? I would say literally after listening to the podcast, like the next day. Um, what I'm looking for is that this summit gives the viewer a range of techniques that if they was to apply them, they would actually have breakthroughs within, I would say, minimum 24 hours or even within the month. Is there anything that comes to you?
Oh, yes, definitely. When you say that, I mean, number one, because I've been so great, and why we do these things is because we've kind of had these challenges ourselves. That's why we feel so passionate about what we do. So for me, the first one would be acknowledge how you're feeling right in that moment. So if something's coming along and you're feeling right pissed off, or something's happening and you don't understand it, acknowledge it straight away. Okay, I'm feeling really angry right now, right here, right now. I'm feeling angry. You've acknowledged it. That's brilliant, because people don't acknowledge it. They ignore it. They suppress it. They'll leave it. Do not ignore it. So you've got that. You're angry. You can feel it. You're sensing it. I'm really angry. Okay, I've acknowledged it. Okay, do I need to register it? Do I need to write down about, I'm feeling angry because such and such said that we were going to do this, they haven't done it. And then when you're doing that, be mindful of what's happening in your body. So number 3 would be, take that deep breath out, take deep breath in, right down to your belly, and release it. That does not belong to you in the here and now. And I cannot tell you how powerful it is to be in the here and now. Just be in the here and now. So number 1, acknowledge it straight away. I'm feeling right now, right here, right now. You're acknowledging it. That's fantastic. Number 2, it's like giving yourself that permission that I've acknowledged it, and I'm going to either write it down or just say it out. I'm feeling such and such because da-da-da-da-da. And then take that deep breath in and release. If that's what you need to say, just release.
Suzie,
Now,
oh, sorry, you carry on.
No, that's okay, because that is it. That is the quick, like, for me, it's just like a quick, if you're in that moment and you need to just, somebody's really egging me on, or it's these triggers that we get. But when you get these triggers, they're actually to help you. You have within you these, I like to call them golden nuggets. They're within you. You know what to do, but you've never acknowledged it this way. So how are you going to find your own treasure if you don't acknowledge it? Okay, so what were you saying?
No, I was going to say thank you. There were absolutely great techniques and tips. I actually feel like I've forgotten the question now because I didn't want to interrupt you.
You wanted to know, but that was only just one technique that I was giving you there. It was one technique of releasing that, whether it's tension, feeling angry, and I was trying to let the listeners know how important it is to be in the present moment, because it's
I think that was the question that I was going to ask. I think it was something along the lines of, what is the benefit of doing that technique? I mean, because you touched on an emotion, which I would say on the emotional scale is one of the lower vibrations. So you used anger as an example. But if we look at the highest emotions that we have, joy and appreciation, how would that technique benefit us in that regard, if it's joy or appreciation?
I think, I get a lot of people, sometimes some of my clients are using gratitude, and they use gratitude and positive thinking as a way to get themselves out of where they are in. So that means they don't actually want to deal with their obstacles and challenges. They're sugarcoating how they are truly feeling with this positive thinking, which is not good, and gratitude. They could be saying thank you with gritted teeth and really, really. But the thing is, the meaning you give to it is what's important. If you've gone all through your life and you don't actually mean thank you, it's not going to come back as a genuine thank you. So another thing for me is, before I do anything, I love the word thank you anyway, and I use it as a mantra anyway. Why not? Why not be thank you for this opportunity, thank you, because the more you are grateful, it does work. It works like magic. It's like a magnet. And I'll always say, the tip now is for putting your hand on your heart. It's like the safest place to be. Anybody that puts their hand on their heart and just take a deep breath in, right down to the belly, and allow yourself just being grateful for that. And yes, some people might think, but my life's turning all over the place. Just start somewhere, but don't make it big. Don't make it huge that you've got to write a life story about how it doesn't work like that. Work with what you have in the now. You know, okay, I've got nothing to be grateful. Really? Did you get some sleep out of the 8 hours that you went? Did you manage to sleep on something that was comfortable? Did you manage to open your eyes and just see the sun? These little things, simple things that we're forgetting because we've been taught that this techno world, this world of external stuff, that I can buy this, I can buy that, I can do this, I can do that, and everything's going to be great. Oh, no. Life teaches you to just be, if you allow yourself to just be. And I know a lot of people that have got busy minds might feel triggered, but that's okay. Be okay with it. Accept that, because it's the truth. So that is another thing, just by starting off, and you don't need to do it day in, day out, day in. 2 minutes in the morning. Thank you. Thank you. Walking to the toilet in the middle of the night. Thank you. You know, just those words, because it's so simple. It's so, you know, but we forgot the simplicity of the being, and we push the being into doing. You know, another thing I wanted to say was that a lot of people I know have suffered with trauma, so they don't feel safe in their body as well as safe in the world. So we know what's been happening in the last year, or we're coming up to 2 years soon. What's happening at the minute is everybody's fighting because, number one, they want to control, and number two, they want to feel safe. They've stopped feeling safe, and they don't feel that they're in control. So it's got you into survival mode. You're in fight and flight, which is not helping anybody. It really isn't helping you or your nervous system. And the best way for your nervous system is breathing. And again, when I meet a lot of people that, I've tried, I did it. Have you really, really tried? And when I say really, really tried, even do it here with me now. Take a nice breath in the here, in the now. Right down to your belly and hold. And then release. And again, take a nice deep breath in. Right down to your belly. Hold and release. And again, a nice deep breath in. Right into your belly. And out slowly. And that, my friends, is so, so important. If you've ever noticed when you're suffering with anxiety or you're getting a panic attack, and I've had many callers with a panic attack, and I've been able to tell them, able to sit with them in just that half an hour. Yes, sometimes it may have took 2 hours. I don't care, as long as they are better. You allow yourself just to be with you, you know, and you'll notice that if you are anxious, you'll be breathing right in your chest, and you'll be like, because your thoughts, your mind, it's sending you crazy as if you're going to go absolutely mental, and your breathing is right in your chest. So be aware of that. Really be aware of where you're breathing. And I've already mentioned the heart, which is so important. So even placing one hand, but if you can't even do that, allow yourself to place one hand under your rib, So if I believe that the majority will be ladies, but if it's a man as well, where your bra strap is. Sorry, men, but where you know what I mean, down at the bra strap, and then the other hand across to your shoulder. And that can give you some kind of safety, because a lot of people don't feel safe in their body. They don't feel safe to be here. And I want to tell you that it's okay. I give you permission to feel safe. Yes, there's a lot of things that are out of your control, but that breathing technique will definitely support you.
Wow, that was amazing, Suzie. Thank you so much. So before we wrap up, obviously you've got a program called Ready, Steady, Love. And what did you say? It's a 6-week program, is that right?
Yeah, it's a 6-week program. So within that 6 weeks, I'm gonna get to know you, you're gonna get to know me. Really, it's getting you to a place of understanding you, the uniqueness of who you are, and getting you to that being that you are. Because we don't need to work on your kindness. We don't need to work on loving and being, because that is you. It's the other things that get in the way. It's the other things. It could be stories, it could be memories. Well, let me support you, because that's what I do best. Also, we'll get in a self-care package for you, which means a technique that's going to help you to stabilize that mental chatter. That mental chatter, not only will it serve you mentally, it's fantastic for emotional well-being. And then we'll start off with colors. What are the colors that you are attracted to? What is it? Because there's a lot about colors that can help you. It will shift your mood. It will also help you in so many things. It's finding out what's really true for you. So it's a unique experience for anybody that's listening that wants to give it a go. Give it a go. What's stopping you from wanting to just be you and know that you are enough?
So in 6 weeks, is it a live program or is it pre-recorded? How does it work, Suzie?
Yes, it will be pre-recorded. So I know when I first started, so what's happened this year, I've obviously meeting Vanessa, we spoke about a program that I did right at the beginning when I started. So all I've done is beefed it up. So what I've done is made it more accessible for people, so they can just click on. They can click on it and they can do the program. It's half the price that it used to be. I need to check back on that, to be fair.
Oh no, don't worry. Yeah,
I've not got nothing in written, but I know I've been on the planet for long enough to know that I want to be here to help people believe in themselves, trust themselves, so that they can love and accept themselves. Nothing's stopping you apart from the stories, the memories, probably trauma. Take it from somebody that knows. For 18 years, I made myself homeless. But I've also, out of that, created a fantastic family that I have been out with today to celebrate my birthday.
I know, how wonderful. Well, I mean, in terms of the program, what I'm going to be doing, Suzie, is giving all of the viewers an opportunity to contact the contributors directly. Any links that you want to pass over, they'll be shown within the section where your video will be placed. So, you'll be able to have that follow-up opportunity for anyone who's listening and is wanting to know how they can get closer to you as a coach, and also find out and also participate in your course, Ready, Steady, Love. So Suzie, it's been absolutely amazing to spend this time with you this evening. obviously we're recording it in the night, but people could be watching it any time in the day. That's the beauty of it being online. And as I said, it is your birthday as well, so I want to wish you a happy birthday on this recording.
That's
And
okay.
thank you for being the first contributor as well, because then this is great. It means that we're on our way to building up a fantastic online summer. I hope, well, I know that the people who tune into this, they're going to get so much out of the content. So thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Is there anything that you'd like to leave with us as a final word at all?
Yeah, I just want to say that never ever give up. Never ever give up. You know, don't give up on that being. That being is a soft, gentle voice that will keep showing you the way. It's just the stories, it's the experience, it's the conditioning that we've been through life. And I guess the final thing is that if you like what you're hearing, I will leave the link for Vanessa. Get hold of my book, You Are Enough. And you've seen me in person, well, online. If you read the book and you love it, go ahead. Go and book some sessions. It'll be the best thing you do. All right. I want to say thank you very much to
No
Vanessa
problem.
for giving me this opportunity to share with your audience that it's all about being the amazing being you are.
Fantastic. Well, Suzie, thank you so much. And obviously, you're part of the Health and Wellbeing Cafe community. So it's not just about people accessing content here. We can make connections inside the community that we're building as well. So I'm sure that you're going to get a lot of people wanting to know more about what you do. So thank you so much, Suzie.
You're so welcome. Thank you.